Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome. We're going to start off with an angel message. An angel message. I hope all is well. You can accomplish anything that you want to as long as you have the focus, the drive, and the passion to do so. And if you got assistance and or guidance, do so as much as possible. And support yourself as much as you possibly can. So let's get an angel message for this one. 2 came out. Ask for your needs to be met and pay yourself first. Somebody needs to treat themselves. Somebody needs to ask for their needs to be met. You are not just put here to pay bills and to go to your mundane job to survive. God and the angels can come to you, to your aid, only if you make the free will choice to be helped. And it begins with asking. It doesn't matter how you ask God for help, but only that you do so. The same holds true with clearly asking other people to assist you. Be accepting of help from others. So maybe you need support to achieve something, to do something, because I stated about having a passion and desire. And then pay yourself first. Mind you, both of those have wings. You are angelic. Make yourself your most make yourself your most important financial obligation by setting aside a portion of your income every time you are paid. This loving form of self-care ensures that you will have savings to invest in your present and your future. Pay yourself first. So get into the habit of paying yourself first so that when you become an entrepreneur, a business owner, whatever the case may be, mind you, your life is transactional because each and every day that you show up for the things that you want is a transaction. So you are your first business. So pay yourself first. Paying yourself for today, the future. And clearing out any old past if you have to. And that also is paying yourself first by accepting and acknowledging the things from the past that maybe you have had, that you've let accumulate for so long. All right, take yourself out on a date. It ain't got to be extravagant, you know? A date is whatever you choose to be. You set the date. Say, today I'm going to go to the library and I'm going to treat myself to brunch. Go to the library, check you out a book, and take it to brunch, eat your food, sit there, 20, 30 minutes, read the book, and then go and take it back if you don't like the book. But treat yourself and also ask for help if you need assistance. You don't have to do this alone. So let's get an energy check in. I'm going to do the 5-card spread, the center being the overall energy and what it is around you, the north being mental, the south being the fire energy, west being material as in the 3D, and the east being emotional. So let's see, your overall energy. You get the Ace of Cups for the overall. This is a new emotional beginning for somebody. This is that unconditional love that you are pouring into yourself. This is self-love. All right, so we have a new emotional state for somebody. North, 2, 3 comes out. All right. And the north is all about the mental playing field. You get the Queen of Pentacles, the Hangman with the 3 of Swords. So mentally, you are grounding yourself, releasing the control of things so that you can acknowledge where it is that you have been emotionally holding on to, or emotionally and mentally holding on to these things. What is it that you've been operating out of a dysregulated nervous system? Where is it asking you to, release this grip, surrendering to something, not in a negative way, but an understanding way, a very peaceful way. East, emotionally, you get the 6 of Swords with the death. Emotionally, you're releasing an old identity. You're allowing yourself to feel whatever it is. You're going through an ego death for somebody emotionally, allowing your higher self to guide you, being vulnerable around this time. South, which is the fire energy, so this is your inner power. You get judgment, which is self-assessment. You holding yourself accountable. You taking actions. All right, and then for the West, the material, you get the 10 of Cups, celebratory energy with like-minded individuals. So you're finally coming into alignment with this new beginning for yourself. And then the King is at the bottom. Now with this emotional fulfillment, this is more about being in the presence of now for yourself. Mentally, you want to make sure that you are doing your mindful practices as much as possible. So whenever you feel an old identity or an old habit trying to come back to the surface, don't be so hard on yourself. Allow yourself to understand that situation, but making sure that you're focused and also on building for the future. So like I stated time ago when I said, this is where you have to, every decision that you make it has a consequence. And you need to be starting to look to further down the line with the actions you're taking. So if you wake up and, you be like, man, I don't feel like eating breakfast, but you also told yourself that, you got to go out and saying you live out in the middle of nowhere and you got to drive into the city and you don't have air in your car. Like, you need to make sure you're setting the right steps ahead of time. Hydrate yourself. Stop at the store and get you a Gatorade. Like, these are just certain things that you need to just make sure that you're planning for the future. And so it's like, don't overthink things. Just say, okay, let me just wake up, be punctual with how I'm thinking. Let's not keep sitting in a lower state. I actually have to move this. I have to be practical with how I'm showing up for these things. And let me not continuously operating out of a lack mentality, a lower vibration. Let me start healing parts of myself by showing up for the things that I can show up for with me. And how can I do this for self? What is it that self is asking for? What is it that I can do for me mentally? And so with you doing that, okay, well, cool. Well, emotionally, this is going to be where you're finally exiting that. You're finally regulating your nervous system. You finally realizing that you have been operating out of a dysregulated, a acidic state. And so with that, here you finally say, okay, well, I don't resonate with that version of myself, because you go from the 3 straight to the 6. So with you mentally releasing this, it locks you straight in emotionally. And so now you can feel whatever this is and you can transition with ease. It's not going to be so painful, but this is necessary. This is your higher self saying, I need to take the forefront and we have to start planning for our future. This is the stability that you're asking for, but I need to make sure that you're grounded. Well, you're in the Ace of Cups, so this is something new for you. So this is where you may want to, get you a little notebook or whatever a notepad or something where you can just say, okay, this is going to be day 1 of this new emotional cycle for myself. And so whenever you wake up, jot down a few things, or just, if you do voice audio recordings, record a few things to yourself. And what is it that I genuinely feel? What am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this? And the more you can just do that mentally, it'll become easier for you to just automatically be able to hit those triggers, and you'll just understand. So start slow. Let's not beat ourselves up. And then this is where it's like, with the passion and your desires and the fire within yourself, with you knowing that you're doing this work and you're not beating yourself up, this is where it's like, hey, I'm going to give everybody the flow. My shadow side gets to show up, present day me, and then the version that I am becoming and showing up for, I have to practice this. In the sense of where it's like, if you say you want to do something, like if you want to, be a marathonist, you're not going to wake up and go and run your first marathon. You're going to start walking more. You're going to, add some like jogs in. You're going to make sure you're staying properly hydrated, stretching. You're going to make sure you're doing all of the things that's going to align you to this. So with this judgment here, it's kind of like, okay, well, if you know that you're mentally doing something for yourself and you're emotionally working on this, it is going to show up for you. And you can now apply this to the things outside of yourself, to the things that you want. It's not about, oh, you're going to get this manifestation. No, it's you knowing that you holding yourself accountable, and you knowing that the actions that you take within yourself, you putting yourself first. You are your first transaction at the beginning of the day, whether you realize it or not. You are the business. And so with you pouring into yourself as much as possible, those that are like-minded individuals, when you get into the material plane, are going to pour into you as much as need as well. And so because we have water for your overall energy, and in the material sense, this is going to literally, you're going to feel all of this. So you're shedding the old identities that you have once held on to for so long. And you may run into people from your past, but they can't reach you with death and judgment. They can't reach you when it comes emotionally, and also affecting the things that you're working towards, because they don't resonate with that. And that's just the reality. So you need to go ahead and release that, because you've been operating out of out of a judgment from others. And so it's like, you're gonna have to go ahead and release that. You can't. If you're on the Queen of Pentacles energy, she damn sure don't be around people that don't love her and don't support her and don't pour into her. She's very grounded, and she knows herself. She is the baby empress. So knowing that the whole thing, or the whole journey of this, is where it's like you're trying to get in, like you're trying to alchemize as much as you possibly can, and you're trying to be creative. You can't keep holding on to things from the past. You're going to have to learn how to release those. And so with you showing up for that and doing this, you will continuously get the things that you want in your life, and you will be supported. You are supported along the way for whatever you show up for. King of Pentacles. You have the King with the Knight and the Ace of Wands. So there's a lot of things that can come for you with you just taking the initiative on whatever it is. And it could be a love for someone, love for self. And because the more you pour into you, people are going to want to do the same. They love supporting people who love themselves. And that's when it's like that. You need to, with you replan these things in your mind, ask yourself, what is it that you have been operating out of, and who have you been attracting? The people who didn't show you or support you, do they support themselves? And if not, that's okay. Release those people. All right, let's see. All right, what is it that the collective needs to know? I don't want these. I don't want this one to be too long. So congratulations for whoever you are. Just take a deep breath in and out. Man, you got this. You got this. Are you ready, Oma? All right, Spirit, give me clear and concise messages. What is it that the collective needs to know? You get distance, separation, space, blockage. The adjacent, pursuit, toxicity, resilience. Okay, so there's some distance between someone who is currently chasing someone. Let's see. You've put distance and or space, or there's a blockage. Now, you could have, because you've mentally blocked something out, it doesn't affect you. This, whatever this toxicity is, in a sense of where it's like, if someone's trying to energetically get to you, they're not going to be able to, because there's just too much space in between y'all. And so they're hoping that they can manifest someone back into their reality. Someone's trying to pull on your energy. Can't make this up. One day, someday, somewhere, another time, they really hoping that they see you one day. They really hoping that they can rekindle a connection with you. I'm not picking up on like a lover. I'm picking up on like old friends, colleagues. You probably don't realize that you live rent free in somebody's mind. You probably don't, like, that's the distance. You get conflict, it comes out in the reverse, clashing differences. Because it's no, like, they don't, it's no negative energy. You know what I'm saying? Clarity, truth, intensity, intentions, honesty, and then healing, cleansing, purifying, and releasing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm not picking up negatively. Yeah, it is toxic, like in a sense of where it was like maybe y'all were trauma bonding, but because you put distance between yourself from these individuals, because you realize I just can't keep operating out of this. We don't have the same, we don't we don't resonate on the same frequency. Third eye, it's a lot of purple, and my nails are purple. The chasing is purple, right? But then the clarity, purple. You realize that you were attracting things, and you were also pursuing things out of a lower frequency, in a sense of where it's like you're rushing to get things done. Any chaotic energy, you realizing that, oh no, that is literally not something that I want. So this is where it's like you are showing up for yourself. You are going back after the things that it is that you want. You're giving yourself the space to release this. That's what matters. Like, it doesn't look like the same for everybody else. And so it's like, if, I know especially like when it comes to some of these readings and they be like, oh, your ex wants you back. If you know that like it wasn't negatively, or friends from the past or people from the past, if like I personally don't want nobody back from an old version of me, but if they was to ever just come up and speak, say, hey, how you doing, I'm not gonna like ignore them. I'll speak back. But baby, I genuinely don't care to just have people texting and calling my phone every day and seeing how I'm doing. I'm fine. I swear I'm fine. And now, because I'm on social media and I show up on the platforms that I want to be seen on, or how I want to be expressed and heard, that's all you get from me. And that's the truth behind that. Like, that clarity is like, damn, you're not coming back. And not in a negative sense. It's just really that you don't operate out of those frequencies. We are incompatible. There is a lot of inconsistency, and that's okay. Me personally, I love to, like, if I don't have to work, I'm gonna be outside in nature. If you don't like, oh, it'd be too hot, the bugs, that don't have nothing to do with me. Like, that's they live out there. It's their space too. They have the right to be there too, same way to you do. And being a human, we have opportunities to go and buy, different sprays and light incense and candles, and so you can get them away from you. But that's the truth. And so with you going through, and when I say healing, I'm gonna say acceptance. With you accepting and releasing what is occupying space in your physical, mental, spirit, wherever it is, whatever you keep holding on to, you're finally releasing this. So this clarity is coming back to you. You can't have chaos and think that you're, no. It's going to be either or. You're going to be operating out of chaos. Everything's going to be rushed. You're going to feel like you're behind. Shit just going to be too much. So with you saying, okay, I want shit calm and quiet and cool. Anything that don't resonate with that is going to be shaky. Anything that is not of that is going to have to go somewhere else. So with you going through your ascensions, and with you had the death and you had judgment, this is all more on the self-evaluation. You're going back within yourself. So only thing you need next is the Hermit to come out, and then you're forced to go through it. But because you're choosing to do this on your own, you don't have to go through certain lessons. You get to do things with ease. So it is going to look like shit is just handed to you. It's going to look like that you just get everything that you want, which you should. Because you're not actually you're not doing it out of conflict. You're not doing it out of dysregulated. Like, you're doing it because that's the natural flow of things. Knowing that you're going to get everything that you want in life, why in the absolute fuck are you rushing? Slow down. Curse comes out, and it comes out on clarity, honesty, intentions. So and even though it says hex, witchcraft, but it's also negative mind. So with this, it's kind of like you This is about the what is it that you're mentally keep replaying and why. But what is the truth? The truth is, in this moment, nothing is hurting you. So if there's something mentally that you keep replaying, you are actually putting yourself back in that mental state. You are keep replaying that. And so it's kind of like, oh wait, accountability comes on my part. Why do I keep replaying that? Why have I not allowed myself to not only feel this emotionally, why have I not identified this? And why am I still holding on to this? So that's that more of that healing, you having to show up for this part of yourself, understanding that it is okay to be mad, sad, hurt, depressed. It's okay to feel those. Yes, people probably did like you were around people that was toxic, and it's not that you didn't know any better, it was just that y'all were trauma bonding, and that's the reality. But you don't have to keep saying like, hey, I fucked up. No, you learn as you go. Learn as we're going through this. That's the beauty of life. You're going to be able to laugh at a lot of this shit one day. Twin flame comes out. Mirroring shadow, shared feelings, reflection. So it comes out after curse, right? You know what I'm saying? If you was with somebody or you was hanging around people that was also lower, y'all are both in a healing season though. This is the reality. Maybe there is somebody that you're in connection with and you don't know. So you're not, it's not chaotic. It's more of the sense of where it's like, maybe y'all both have to, like, you're supposed to heal with this individual. And that's beautiful. If there's people that you are around and y'all can heal together. To have a shoulder to cry on, to lean on, and then to uplift, it's beautiful. To see people go through their evolutionary stages is beautiful. To see some people in a caterpillar stage and you know one day that they're going to become a butterfly, it's amazing. Mistakes, misunderstood, victim, lost soul. So yeah, somebody is supposed to help someone ascend. And it is, now when you helping people ascend, that is uncomfortable for a part of it. But if you went through enough and you understand how this goes and you know your assignment, do your assignment well and then release as much as possible. Do not attach yourself to nobody thing. Do not attach yourself to nobody or anything. Mastering the art of detachment is going to help you. You're going to be misunderstood by people who operate in a lower frequency, and that's that more hitting on that clarity, that truth. You know, some of the mistakes that we're not going to play the victim, especially if we played a part in it. We all got a role, and if you played a role, even if you didn't, do the best that you wanted to, you played it. And especially from people from the past, if they probably spoke poorly of you because they didn't understand why you walked away or why you left, now they are forced to sit with their own that energy that they set out. That twin flame is because we operated. It's like somebody was hurting and you knew they were hurting, but you walked away from them because you couldn't hold on to their pain as well. You released them. You said, okay, look, we may be both sad, but hey, somebody got to find some happiness. Somebody got to get peace out here. I'm gonna get one more. Let's get one more. One more, spirit. Depth. Awareness, importance, value. You have more depth to yourself. You was around surface levels individuals who didn't want to go beneath the surface to understand anything. So that's the thing. People who genuinely don't want to do that internal work or don't want to show up for shadow work or go into therapy or whatever it is, and then mind you, this is fire. This is you understanding that, hey, my soul needs more than this. I genuinely, I can't keep dealing with this. So you put distance between yourself with these individuals and you went within yourself. Filling the void. Somebody is filling a void. I'm gonna use these. Let's see, what do I want to clarify this chasing to see if it's like see exactly what this chasing is, and then the curse, and then I'm gonna close it out, y'all. That's all I'm gonna do. What is this chasing? I just want to make sure it ain't something like uncloak this energy that like it's been presented to you in a different way, because it could be a trickster that could be out here for somebody. And you know, if with that twin flame or this mistakes, if you know, saying you're doing your healing work and somebody just run into you on a day that you are, you know, at a lower frequency, and they be able to attach something to you, and you don't even realize that you pick it up. And so that's where it's like, let's just see, because it's purple in the clarity and the chasing, so it could be something that you don't see beneath the surface. And that's what we finna do, because we finna get through it. We finna do it. We finna do it. What is this chasing? Ooh, shit. Ace of Wands, mad. Somebody mad. More of this fire within the self. New opportunities, new beginning. The thrill of things. Fire energy. We could be a fire sign. We are in Leo season. Let's get one more. So something's gonna be presented to somebody. It is a love opportunity, but it's toxic. So be mindful of someone trying to present themselves as your twin flame, because they in page energy. So it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, because that's what that curse gonna be. You gonna pick up something you ain't gonna be able to put down, and it'll lead you to a mistake. Oh no, don't do it. Don't do it, my love. Don't do it. You got way more things out here. So make sure your third eye is on point. If you do end up doing something here soon, it's gonna look different for everybody. You know, if you plan on going out, you plan on celebrating, with you treating yourself, you already looking good out here. But whatever it is, it's an opportunity that's going to be presented to somebody in the face of love. Could be from a Pisces. Let's see. What is this curse? The Chariot. Your forward movement. Cancer. Somebody don't want somebody to move forward. That's your willpower, your determination. Forward movement. Wait, what? Yeah, what you was working. Now I see what you look. Both of these coming out to clarify your forward movement, but you exit this emotionally. So they try to attack. So if you like, with you emotionally showing up for whatever you're showing up for and clearing this out, this negative mind, it can't stick to you. Keep working, keep showing up. Somebody's trying to hold on to you from an old timeline that you don't operate with. These individuals trying to see if they can come in and present something to you. But it ain't gonna work. You got too much. You are too important now. So important, I ain't trying to speak. He said so important, it made 100 last week. One more. Yes, somebody in masculine energy. So you could be a divine feminine, or you could be a masculine, and there's you have a Jezebel spirit trying to get through to you. Somebody mirroring somebody, emperor. More on that fire energy, like I stated. But with you just standing in your power, making sure you're not holding on to nothing egotistically, then you will be able to just keep pushing through this. It ain't gonna affect you. Like, this will be something you burp up. With death at the bottom. Scorpio energy. Like, it'll hit you, but it'll be so subtle that you don't even know. Like, it'll be a part of your bowel movement. So, just keep showing up. Keep clearing out whatever it is you gotta clear out for yourself. Keep clearing it out, my love. But that is the message I have for you guys. And I will see y'all in the next one.